I am fantastic. Are you about done? You got 1 week left. You're 24 days in. You got 1 week left. You're like, here we go. I've been shining for 24 days. I can't wait to dull things up on June 1st because you've been helping kids shine. How's the campaign been so far?
The community is amazing. The campaign has been going so well. So we just hit $200,000 raised.
Good.
Yes. And our goal is 250. So we still have some more to go. Actually, we have about $30,000 left to go in 7 days.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's pretty good. All right. A couple things are happening. I want to get into how people can make a donation. I want to get into the cars in a second. But one of the things that people don't realize, and maybe it's a little bit of, we're doing our part, right? Like you're the message and we're the megaphone. So we're doing as much as we can to amplify what goes on there. But as I've said before, you guys are so understated about what happens at the Niagara Children's Center. But for the families, Marla, I have talked to parents who can't believe everything that you and your team and the staff and the therapists and the teachers have been able to do for their children. Before you got there, though, how long have you been there? And before you got there, did you understand the impact that building had?
So I've been here 5 years and I had no clue the impact that this building had. I had been here before and I came with my daughter when she was about 5 months old and she needed physiotherapy. So she needed to strengthen the muscles in her neck so that she could turn her neck. And so we needed physiotherapy for a little bit. And I remember walking in to the children's center and I assumed that this building was a doctor's office and that they just had, allied professionals working here. And our therapist walked right up to us. So it's not like somebody said, Marla Smith and your kid, come on over here. Like nobody said that. The therapist came right out and her name was Anna. And she said hello to me. And she looked in my carrier because I had a 5-month-old. I had one of those carriers.
Right.
And she looked and she goes, your daughter is just beautiful. Come with me. And I was like, where am I? What is going on? They come out and greet you. We walked back and Anna's like, tell me about your daughter, Addison. Tell me about what she's doing. And I was like, what? They ask questions like that? It was just unbelievable. They asked how she was sleeping, how I was doing. They were really looking for the full gamut of how they could support us. And we got right into therapy. She had great tools and tricks that she could offer us.
It really is amazing because as a parent, you have experience dealing with the outside world. But as a child, they have no experience. Like obviously, Addison at 5 months is blissfully unaware of everything that is happening, right? Yeah. But if you come at 2 or 3 or 4, or some children even start 5 or 6, that they don't know any different. But as parents, we know this typically doesn't happen in that clinical environment where we think it's going to be sterile and we think it's going to be dry and there's going to be some questions. And it's like, okay, it is very different than that, isn't it?
It is. It's all about the family, learning about that person, that child, what you're looking to achieve and how they can help you achieve that. Not a cookie cutter plan, not a, here, this is what we give every parent that walks in the door. It was literally what's going on with your child and how can we help her achieve stronger neck control in that example.
Yeah. And because as a parent, you knew, because you have an older child, right? So you probably knew it's like something is not quite right. And I can only imagine as a parent, you're like, I don't know what it is. And parents, trust me, your kids are a little younger than mine, but even when they're in their 20s and have graduated university, there's still a sleepless night because you'll never stop worrying about your children. There's never a point, or maybe the point is when they get to 30, or maybe it's 35, or maybe when they have children of their own. I don't know when that point is, but you never stop worrying about your children. But when they hit a mark or a milestone where you, as you know, sometimes we call it, you know, your maternal instinct kicks in, and it's more with mothers than it is with fathers. But with mothers, it's like something is just off. Something is just, our oldest was there, there's something not, and you know, and I imagine, as calm as you are, it's the duck theory. Everything above the water is nice and calm. Marla is ever doing smooth, and below the water, like paddling furiously. What is happening here? What is going on? And the Niagara Children's Center, I can only imagine then, you come in, you're like, I don't know what's happening. And they're like, okay, we can do this. We can handle it.
You know what the best part that I hear is when a parent says, the therapist believed me. The therapist listened to what, they believed me. When everybody else thought I was overreacting, or what I was seeing wasn't really the reality that I was describing. The therapist believed them, and they said, I finally felt heard.
That is something.
Validated.
Yeah, I knew something was wrong. Yeah. I was right. Okay. But then the work gets to start, right? And then for your child, how long was Addison at the center?
About off and on for 5 months.
Okay. And then after that, everything normal? Everything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we use that, we throw that term around, and especially at the Niagara Children's Center. But I don't know how else to describe some cases. It's like her neck, she had the muscle strength she needed to carry on as normal.
Yeah, and so like in the medical term, we'd say you're discharged, right? You are no longer requiring X, Y, and Z support. But if you require support at a later time, so for example, like hearing, maybe at a later time we would have said, I don't know, her hearing might be off because her speech then is delayed. I could still call the Children's Center back and be re-referred again,
right,
for a different issue.
So you go through that experience with your daughter. And that what sort of drew you to the position when it became available?
Well, that opened my eyes to what was happening. So I sat there and I was like, what is going on in this place? When you start to read online about Niagara Children's Center, you hear a constant theme. These people that work here are amazing. The families that come here are able to connect with each other. I found that my child was able to excel being there. You hear really powerful, profound words. And I'm a fundraiser, right? So you hear some of these words, but you don't hear them in the fundraising world as consistently as you hear them here at the Children's Center.
And when you look at your daughter, though, right? Because it's like, oh, Marla's daughter had a weak neck and they strengthened the neck. There are, I have talked to some just amazing, courageous families. I mean, that talk about, well, his condition is terminal technically, or there are such severe developmental delays, or the communication delays. Like your case, if I can say, you know, Addison's case is on the fairly mild side, but still, as a parent, you don't know that. So imagine a child is non-communicative, or has severe developmental delays, or has mobility issues, or all three, right? And as a parent, you just want what's best for your child, right? Yeah. You're not thinking about, oh my gosh. And a lot of parents is like, well, they're not going to be in the Olympics. I accept that. It's like, what is best for my child? What is their best life?
Well, and even to build on that, Tom, so like you're saying, you know, you've heard from families where their child isn't speaking,
right?
But then their child does speak. They come to the Children's Center, and our augmentative communications team will work with that child to be able to use alternative forms of communication to say, I love you, mommy, daddy, I'm hungry. Just as simple of those words as they appear to be are absolutely amazing. So when you saw a child that maybe didn't have the same potential, and then all of a sudden they are able to do that, it really is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Like that's the part. All right. So there's a couple ways you can help out. Let's start with biggest push right now. How are you for the plasma car races?
The plasma car race is back after 2 years. We're so excited. We have room for 5 more teams. And that's really because we want people to enjoy their experience. So we don't want to have it too overcrowded. Teams consist of 4 racers, and they race in a relay format. So Tom, you get on this little tiny plastic car type thing, and you move around, and then you hand it off to your next person on your team. That person does their little motion. It's a bit of a wiggle and a movement that kind of moves you quite slowly. Yeah, kind of
a bit of it's an arm and butt wiggle kind of maneuver.
Yep, it is. And you would be surprised. There's a trick I'm going to tell you and all your listeners today. The trick is do large movements with the steering wheel in the beginning.
Yeah.
Even though you think you want to do fast, quick ones, that doesn't move you. The big ones in the beginning, and the next thing you know, you're coasting.
Big movements at the beginning. All right.
Yeah, that's the trick.
So if people, teams of 4, so you 3 family members, colleagues, co-workers, people you grab at a truck stop, how do you sign up? Is there still room for teams?
Yes, room for 5 more teams. You register at helpkidsshine.ca. And it costs, registration is $5.50 a team. And of course, all those funds that are raised come back to Niagara Children's Center. And the best part for people that are participating is we were gifted the Gale Center for free for the event. So really, the cost for us is so low. We just put on a fun event for everybody.
Yeah. All right. Now you can make a one-time donation by going to helpkidshine.ca. When you go there, you're going to see the word cabinet. Click on cabinet and then hit my face and donate under me. Or you can also become a monthly donor. How do you become a monthly donor? Because I love how you phrase it. Secure, stable funding year round.
That's right.
For monthly donors.
Yeah, so monthly donations really allow the Children's Center to have a better opportunity to have stable funding all year long. And it doesn't mean that people have to make a larger gift. It just means that their gift is reoccurring. So if you were the type of person
it actually can be smaller and more manageable.
Yeah. And it just comes off, but it allows us to forecast and plan and be able to say we know that we can help more kids because we have this guaranteed funding, versus sending an email or sending a letter online each year asking people to give. So it just kind of saves time, but it also gives like our staff, our people here at the center, the security of knowing we have these people that believe in you. They believe that the work you're doing here is great, and they're going to contribute on an ongoing basis to an amount that's comfortable to them. But the best part is if you can see right here, our friends at O'Hara Construction, I don't know if I got it there, are matching those monthly gifts.
Yes.
So what that means is that if you're giving a monthly gift, and let's just pretend for a second that it's $10 a month, O'Hara is going to give another $10 a month, which means your donation is worth now $20 to Niagara Children's Center. So it's super easy.
Marla Smith, thank you for sharing your story. Thanks for giving us more insights in the Niagara Children's Center. Once again, to go online, helpkidsshine.ca, helpkidsshine.ca, and you can find out more information, make your safe, secure donation right there. Always awesome chatting with you. I think it was a twofer for Marla Smith today. Wow.
Yeah.
Bookended. You got on the morning show with the round table. You're on with me. Probably means we won't get you back till August 2023. But hey, that's an issue for another day. All right. Listen, go have an awesome night. Say hi to the kids and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Thanks.